My name is José Alaniz Reyes, and today I'm going to do a recap of what we've seen so far in the class of Language Systems 2. This is number 1, the importance of vocabulary. I think that vocabulary is the basis for the development of all other skills. Development is what I said. Having an extensive vocabulary can help you fuel those ideas that you want to express with people. Having more to work with is always a good thing, especially when it comes to communicating ideas. Simply having the ability to express the same idea in many different ways, it's a good indicator that you have an extensive vocabulary. And that can help a lot in a lot of different situations, albeit formal or informal. Number 2, how do you know a word? I think the way that you can tell someone knows a word is if he knows its proper form, meaning, and use. Forms, meanings, and uses, I guess. You can tell that someone knows the form of a word if he can distinguish the different ways in which it can be written, it can be read, it can be pronounced, it can be spelled, and the different parts that compose it. Now, meaning. I think form and meaning go hand in hand. Knowing the different ways that that word can be spelled or it can be written can tell you the different meanings that it can have. Well, it depends on the word, obviously. But knowing a word's meaning usually refers to its references, its concepts, and associations. And that leads us to the use. This usually refers to how a person can employ a word in a sentence. Knowing if there's any patterns to the word, in which context it would be most appropriate to use it, and knowing how often it can be used. Number 3, morphemes, or morphology, or both. Morphology is the study of the different forms of a word and morphemes. And the morpheme is like the smallest unit of language that carries meaning. There are 2 different types of morphemes, free morphemes and bound morphemes. The difference between them is that free morphemes can stand by themselves, while bound morphemes, as its name implies, are they need of another word in order to make sense. Free morphemes are composed of lexical morphemes and functional morphemes. Lexical morphemes are composed of content words such as nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs, while functional morphemes are composed by function words, which is like the rest of the things. Bound morphemes, on the other hand, are composed entirely by affixes, which are prefixes and suffixes. And of those, there are 2 more types, which are derivational and inflectional. But I think the inflectional ones, only suffixes are the only ones that are inflectional, I think. And lastly, ways of creating words. I wasn't there for that class, so I'm going to improvise a little bit. I think, as with many things, necessity is the mother of invention, and I think it's the same for words. Communication has become such a thing that people want to get done as soon as quickly, so they usually make up words or anything to shorten their communication with other people. Not because they don't enjoy it or anything like that, but I think it's more because they want to get their point across with things that, for example, tweet or posting or stuff like that. These are not real words, but people still use them because they try to refer to something in the shortest amount of words possible. The same goes for acronyms and stuff like that. But I think with made up words, it's more emphasizing the things that happen and the lengths that people go through just to try to express an idea. For example, not recently, but a while ago, acronyms or words like LOL and OMG were added to the Oxford Dictionary. And I think that says a lot about what our community needs in order to communicate better and where we stand as a society when it comes to communication. Let me reiterate what I said a little while ago. Necessity is the mother of invention, and we need better ways to communicate. And I think that's why we're inventing these kinds of words. And that was it. Bye.